It's TNT time. So today we're talking about a new TikTok trend, and it's not a dance routine, it's not a makeup hack, and it's not a cool recipe. The trend is picking, quote unquote, baddie friends based on attractiveness. The hashtags pretty friend group and baddie friend are making the rounds in videos where fun, fashionable, attractive folks hang out with other fun, fashionable, attractive folks. Many are doing it ironically and in harmless fun, except, is that harmless? What beauty standards are being projected in the process? And when I first heard about this trend, because I saw it also on Refinery 29, I thought to myself, okay, I have this thing I always say at home, and I say, like, can we just have crooked teeth? And what I mean by that is, have we come to the point in society where looking normal, like maybe having some skin blemishes, some crooked teeth, maybe a choppy hairline, like none of this stuff is acceptable anymore? And we're going to get into that a little bit later when we talk about filters and what have you. But now we're getting to a point where social media is supposed to be sort of this, you know, artificial environment where we are able to connect and find community. And people are purposely going to find community that looks cute so that they can create content together, and they're all quote unquote pretty, whatever that means, because beauty's in the eye of the beholder. I feel like we've lost the plot at this point. Like, if this is what's really happening with young people and they're trying to shop for their friends based on who's cute and who isn't, we got a problem, folks. What do you think, T?
Okay, so I don't subscribe to this at all, but I will say this. I sort of understand it, and I will explain. Okay, so if you are into, I know, right? Because I feel like, okay, I'm gonna explain. If you're into social media, if you're someone who's a content creator, and this is what you do for a living, it actually does make sense that this is what you're gonna project to the world. Everything that they put out to the world, they want it to make it look pretty. It has to be curated. So it makes sense that they're not gonna really show their real cousins and their best friend down the street. And it does make sense that they're going to create this fake world, because social media is fake. So to me, it is consistent with what we see on there. The issue is, I think it needs to change. But I understand if you are in that world, I understand why people do it. And I understand why maybe it also gets down to they're looking for someone who relates to them, somebody who looks like them. Maybe going to having advice from friends who don't look like them, don't do what they do for a living. And it's just that need of wanting to be around people who understand you. Here's the issue. When those things change, then what do? If that person's not as pretty anymore, or they put on weight and they don't look the way you thought that they should look, do you stop being friends with them? That's the issue with when you're just looking at friends on a surface level. So I don't agree with it. I'm just saying I understand if you are in that world, why you would do that. But I don't do that. I think the spice of life is better. I have friends all across the spectrum, but at the same time, I would never get rid of those friends. They bring value to my life. So I think the spice of life is much better. To have friends, different races, different ages, different sexes. I have friends all over the map.
Okay, I'm going to say a couple of things. The thing that I relate to is the fact that content creators would want to be with other content creators. Yeah. No one wants to be at a restaurant with me and I'm photographing my food with my non-social media friends. They're like, could you just get out? Like, put your phone away. Like, they don't want any of that foolishness and that nonsense. So sometimes, yes, you want to be with someone who is okay with content creation, and they're going to be okay with taking your picture, and you can take their picture, and it's going to be fine. My issue, though, is that when I look at social media, T, you know what I'm looking for? I want to hear the brother that says everything wrong, the awkward uncle. I want the unattractive family. I want people tripping. I want clumsiness. When I see people with groups of folks and they're connecting on a real level, yeah, and everyone's not traditionally beautiful, I believe that there is a real connection happening here. Whenever I show what happens behind the scenes in the Moore home, my mother doing prayers that go on for 10 minutes before every single meal, Leo saying everything he shouldn't be saying, like it's all wrong. This is what people attach to because that is reality. That is realness. I gravitate towards things being real. The couple that doesn't look like they belong together. The friends that you see right away, obviously they've known each other since kindergarten because those two look like they have nothing in common. That's the stuff I love.
Yeah, me too.
So let's not get rid of that stuff because we want to see everybody looking the same and perfect and, you know, like doing everything the same because that is apparently more appealing on social media. You know what I'm saying?
I agree with you. It's much more interesting. I gravitate towards that too. That's why I prefaced it with, I don't agree with it. I understand it. But you guys don't want to see my family in real time because you don't want to see us on a Saturday arguing over Uno. I mean, I'm not kidding. We all get into it. And we have no mercy. We don't have any mercy for the children in our family either. You don't want to see my family play Uno. It's not good.
I want to see you come to blows. Like, I want to see the whole nine. I will be invested. I will watch all your content. But T, this actually leads perfectly into our next topic of conversation because we're starting No Filter Fridays as a way to detox your feed. And we all need to detox our feeds. It's easy to put on a filter instead of a full face of makeup, but sometimes we just need to embrace our real face. And that's what I did the other day on Instagram. I just put a picture on of my real face. No brows done, no foundation, no concealer. This is just my hockey mom face. What do you think of the whole no filter idea, T?
I've put pictures where they are heavily filtered, and I've put pictures where they are not filtered. I usually do slap on a little thing here and there, but to be honest, I don't want it to look like a cartoon or look like a painting. I don't really overly, we've all seen those pictures where people's features are almost gone because it's so airbrushed, right? Their nose is almost disappeared. You just see the holes of the nostrils and everything else is blown out. Like I don't understand doing that. It doesn't look like you're not recognizable once you see them in person.
There's it's a Dove self-esteem project. They do incredible research and they have been doing this for decades now. And their findings show that beauty advice is a big part of teen social media feeds, but unfortunately not all of it is positive. So they are taking in some toxic beauty advice. In fact, 1 in 2 girls are saying that idealized beauty content on social media causes low self-esteem. So you and I are a little bit older. We grew up in an analog age and we're now in the digital age. There's a whole generation that are growing up in the digital age. It can be potentially harmful for them. And, you know, you're a beauty expert, you're a beauty influencer, you keep it real. Does any of this surprise you to hear this?
It doesn't surprise me at all, and I'm so grateful that I didn't have it when I was a teen because I think it would have really affected my self-esteem. I say it all the time whenever I do speeches or I'm talking to young women. I always say this, you guys have no idea how much effort has gone into these pictures. Do not compare yourself to these pictures. They are edited, there's filters, there's beautiful professional lighting. There's so much work and then there's the beautiful makeup artist the beautiful makeup artistry that has gone into making this person look this way. There's so much, and they're looking at it and they're like, why can't I look like that? And I know I did it when I was a teen. I used to watch music videos and like, why can't I look like that? And now, as a makeup artist, my eye is trained. I look back now and I see these 90s videos and I'm like, there was so much lighting and makeup and contouring. I didn't see it at the time. But because now that my eye is trained, I can look back now and say, I was comparing myself to these women who are wearing false lashes and contouring and lighting and all these things. And I just wish that people would realize what they're looking at. There's so much done to those pictures. Do not compare yourself to them.
Absolutely do not. And if you want to learn more about how to detoxify your feed and access Dove Self-Esteem Project resources, they're fantastic. Head to our website, cityline.tv. T, thanks for that.